Palma. Oh, pass. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloya is open. 3-pointer. Oh my goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Caballero has time.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
It's another scorching hot Friday afternoon in the summer of May. And for the first time this season, the Marlica Pilipinas Basketball League troops to the shoe capital of the Philippines here in Marikina. We are live from the Marikina Sports Complex for Day 54 of the 7th season of the MPBL. Another triple header in store for us today. And for our first game, we have two teams that are looking to bounce back. Of course, the other team is looking to replicate, or rather to go back to their winning ways after they lost their first game. But this team, the Imus Brotherhood, after a hot start, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and they're looking to get back on the winning track against another team that's very hungry for a victory in the Manila Batang Quiapo. Yan ang ating unang laro at 4 o'clock p.m. Later on at 6 o'clock p.m. we have the Mindoro Tamaraos going up against the struggling Cebu Classic. And for our main game, the Marikina Shoe Masters defend their home floor for the first time against the Bulacan Cuyas. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. This is Javi Palanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, can you feel the heat already?
Oh yeah, definitely. Lalo na itong araw na ito, kailangan manalo ng mga 5 sa 6 na team na maglalaro ngayon dahil sila currently on a losing streak.
Yeah, itong Manila, coach, nandyan na nga tayo with their current roster that they have right now. Obviously, not much talent on this team right now. But what will it take for them to turn things around this season?
I think it's gonna take collectively for all of them, lalo na with the leadership of Achi Inigo and of course, you know, John Fa, the sensational young kid from Manila. He's got to step up a little bit more with a lot of help from Deco and the guys.
Mapapanood nyo ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino on our Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. And of course, we also have the third member of our broadcast panel introducing to you, Miss Gianna Lianes. Gianna, good afternoon. Welcome back.
Javi and Coach Mike, it is so nice to be here with you during this beautiful Friday. It may be scorching hot nga here at the Marikina Sports Complex, but you guys are looking fresh as ever, and a fresh perspective naman ang nakuha ni Coach Brit Roma of the Imus Brotherhood from his recent trip in the US witnessing the NBA Finals. Sabi niya, marami daw siyang natutunan doon na gusto niya ibahagi sa Imus Brotherhood. Number 1, how to be mentally tough during bigger situations, and number 2, when it is time to make game time decisions. Napanood din daw niya ang huling talo ng kanyang kupunan against Muntinlupa, and that actually motivated him to make more defensive schemes and to focus on rebounding during practice. Alam daw ng Imus that Manila is also a very young team, so their focus today is limiting the transition offense of Manila and of course focusing as well on their one-on-one defense. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. Well, itong Manila, that's been one of their strengths this season. Itong transition game nila because of the lack of big men. They've really looked to push the pace a lot this season. Pero ito si Coach Britt, ginawang kaya po yung US, ha?
Oo nga. Sana all, nakakanood ng playoffs sa NBA.
But before we talk about the last games of these two squads, let's check out what happened yesterday at the Lonte Sports Arena. Coach, you covered all of these games. That included a very thrilling game between the Binyanta Takjel and the Basilan Viva Port Masters.
Yeah, and more importantly, itong Muntinlupa right now sharing with Quezon that 8-2 spot. Jensen winning over Davao with Bao Chauca debuting as a playing coach, and that game, that really close game, Basilan losing to Binyan in a very close match.
Well, because of what happened yesterday, let's take a look at what happened sa ating team standings beginning with the Northern Division. Coach, talk to us about what's happening dito sa Norte.
Well, ito, magpapatuloy pa rin na walang talo itong dalawang team na ito, Nueva Ecija and San Juan. Of course, tomorrow, that's gonna be a match that everybody's waiting for. Samantalang yung tatlong teams na nasa baba dito sa Norte, sila yung maglalaro ngayong araw na to in the hope na makabalik muli, katulad ng sinabi mo, sa patuloy na sa pagpapanalo dito sa season na ito.
Well, dito sa Southern Division, meron ng teams, lahat ng teams rather, may talo na dito, pero pasikip na ng pasikip ang ating team standings dito.
Yeah, medyo tight ang battle dito. Katulad nga sinabi ko kanina, Muntinlupa and Quezon right now tied at 8-2. Nandun din ang Quezon, ang Rizal rather with 8-3. And the Imus Brotherhood, Mindoro Tamaraos, and the Cebu Classics will be showing off their wares today and hoping that improving their standings this game.
Well, we said at the start of the season that the North is going to be super tight in terms of the battle for playoff spots, pero mukhang ganyan na nangyayari na rin sa ating Southern Division. Well, talk about the Southern Division. The Imus Brotherhood is part of that division and they lost their last game against a Southern Division counterpart in the Muntinlupa Cagers 64-57.
Yeah, latest game loss came at the hands of Muntinlupa. Well, after the first quarter ended, they were actually tied. Imus outscored them in the second quarter. They trailed just by 7 at the half. Had a strong third period, but again, yung finishing kick, yun na ang sinasabi nga ni Coach Britt kanina. Kit Aryar and JJ Caspe had 15 points apiece. You know, been a challenge making shots, dismal from three-point shooting, short of help from the supporting cast as they were a minus 29 in the bench points department.
But save for this game, Coach, despite the losses, Imus has actually been able to keep in step with their foes. Hindi lang talaga nila natatapos. You mentioned the finishing kick. That's something that they hope na di na nila kakailanganin ngayon. They hope for a good start against a very victory-hungry Manila Batang Quiapo today who lost their 9th straight game in their last matchup. And that was a really positive game para sa kanila in terms of the margin of victory because they only lost by 12 points here compared to their other matches where it was really all blowout losses.
At saka malaking pagkakataon na yun na ma-end yung losing streak nila against a Quezon City team. But, you know, it was close contest at halftime, but Manila was left biting the dust in the second half. A really strong ending to that game para sa QC. Pero bumawi at katulad sinabi mo na ibaba sa 12 ang kalamangan. Just deficits across all the stats. Minus 9 on rebounds, minus 12 in points in the paints. John Fa, though, had 13 points. Achi had 12. And Ambrosio chipped in 10 points. So some of the players that might be, hopefully, performing as well today.
Richard Albo also had another great scoring performance in that game with 19 points. But Achi Inigo, he looks to really turn on to his scoring cap much more in this season. We've been talking about that for the duration of the year because of the lack of firepower that they've had. Some guys have had to do so much more compared to previous years.
Yeah, and ang laki rin kasi naging dependency nila sa mga starters, especially if John Fa, Achi Inigo, and Albo will put to start for their team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for Game 1 of our Friday triple header here at the Marikina Sports Complex. Let's go to Miguel Pere.
Magandang hapon mga kaliga and welcome to the Marikina Sports Center. Today's first game features Imus Grumpy Joe Brotherhood versus Manila Batang Quiapo. This is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's carry on the starting fives, beginning with the Imus Grumpy Joe Brotherhood. Starting at guard number 5, Jed Ong. Also at guard number 12, JJ Casper. Coming in at center number 14, Ray Acuno. Forward number 17, Kint Ariar. And the other forward number 24, Mark Doligon. The head coach for Imus is Brit Roma. Assistant coaches Jade Padrigaw and Mike Orquillas. Team consultant RJ Rizada. Assistant team manager TJ Marquez. Team owner is Ruby Navarro. Now the starting five for Manila Batang Quiapo. Starting at guard number 13, John Fa. Also at guard number 4, Jose Canlas Jr. Coming in at center number 23, Decoy Lopez. Forward number 18, Marvin Alvarez. And the other forward number 77, Red Eusebio. The head coach for Manila is Max Dayandante. Assistant coaches Clint Cusarin, RJ Janero, and Miller Guillen. Team manager is Ivan Villaflor. Team governor Ado Salazar. Team owners Raymond Ang.
Our starting five for this game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Our primary protagonists, Imus, will begin things with Jegong and JJ Caspe in the backcourt, joined by Ray Acuno, Kit Ariar, and Mark Doligon. Samantalang ang Manila Batang Quiapo will be starting with John Fa, Jose Canlas, Decoy Lopez, Marvin Alvarez, and Red Eusebio. A mix of PCCR players and some new guys para sa Manila Batang Quiapo, of course led by the very young John Fa, who has been a revelation this season. Only 19 years old and already playing like a vet.
Yeah. For the most part, itong Manila, actually, starting five nila, yung tatlo medyo different combinations, pero ang mainstays talaga nila, for the most part, is Decoy Lopez and itong si John Fa. They want them to start the game for this Manila team.
Imus takes the opening tip. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, only managing to win against Val City. They lost to Bataan, Jensan, San Juan, and Muntinlupa in their last game. That was the most recent one. JJ Caspe with the incursion inside, just failing to finish. The ball will stay with the Brotherhood. Still 14 seconds on their shot clock.
And we talked about Javi, yung strong start palagi nitong Imus. Well, it has to do with those 3 guys actually starting. As you see, John Fa right now with a finish on an outlet layup. Yung Caspe, Doligon, as well as Kin Arriar, when those guys start, you expect you're gonna have a strong one for Imus. Pero yung pag-sustain sa dulo ng laro ba, yun ang kailangan nilang aksyonan para dito sa Imus.
Pati si Coach Britre Roma, yan rin ang tinatry na ayusin, especially here in his return. His first game back after that trip to the US where he was able to witness some games of the ongoing NBA playoffs. Doligon dishes off. Arriar could not get the basket, but he will troop to the line for 2 shots. You were saying, Coach?
I was gonna ask, sino kaya yung napanood yun?
I think, Coach, nakakita ko ng picture and I believe Coach Britt was able to catch a Golden State game.
Oh, wow. Sana all.
I'm not sure if it was against Houston or ito ng series against Minnesota, which they just lost yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Very sad for all Golden State fans. Big loss that they didn't really have Steph Curry the entire series.
That's right. That was a tough one.
Decoy Lopez, quick trigger from 3. He misses that. 4-2 is the score here in the early goings of the first quarter. Doligon loses it. But Caspe recovers off the glass and in for JJ Caspe, who has drawn a lot of comparisons to Barangay Ginebra's Scotty Thompson.
Yeah, I talked to him about it. Oh, what a block right there by Ken Arriar. And I talked to him earlier, itong si JJ Caspe, and says, Coach, malayo pa, pero, pinagtatrabahuan yan, sabi.
Well, he definitely has all the physical attributes that are almost like Scotty Thompson's. He has that good height for the guard position and also a good nose for the basketball, something that Scotty Thompson has been known for throughout his career. John Fa aggressive to the basket, missing with the left hand. Counter-attack here for the Brotherhood. No numbers, and yet Doligon still forces the issue, could not get the basket.
He thought he could brush off that defense. Itong si Mark Doligon, but Manila coming back strong here.
The league leading team in terms of fast break points, getting one off in transition there off the offensive rebound, John Fa.
And I think yung fast break is a little intentional talaga para dito sa ano. So we see a layup shot, uncontested para dito kay JJ Caspe. And Manila, they need to run because they're not that tall.
21.7 points in terms of fast break markers this season para sa Manila. Batang Quiapo, number 1 in the league. Hint Arriar, that pass a little bit too forward for JJ Caspe. Turnover for the Imus Brotherhood. They hold a slim 2-point advantage here. Almost 3 minutes gone by in quarter number 1. JJ Caspe catching the Manila defense off guard here.
And nobody helping out. Just caught ball watching that drive by JJ.
16.6 points per game this season para kay JJ Caspe. Leads his team. Former Mindoro Tamarao, a native of Mindoro who only had the dream of playing for his hometown squad a few years back. In fact, he was in one of Mindoro's home games. And a year after that, he was part of that Mindoro franchise. Getting a new chapter in his playing career this year, playing for the new look Imus Brotherhood.
Yeah, I feel that it really started off JJ Caspe's career in the MPBL.
That free throw was brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 2 foul shots there para kay Kyle Cielo, who did not see action against Quezon City. Getting early minutes here para kay Coach Maxi Dayandante. Manila gets a stop, and they're looking to push as per usual. John Fa in the lane. Lopez missed his 3-pointer from the same spot earlier. This time he rattles one home. and gets the lead for the Batang Quiapo.
And I love that action of John Fa. You always, for the most part, would see him on a 1-2 layup action. But right there, 1-2 stride stop, nandun ang depensa, tingin sa taas, nakita si Decoy Lopez, kicks it out for that 3. And, it shows a lot of foot control para dito kay John Fa.
And this is precisely what Coach Mike was talking about, that dish by John Fa that generated this 3-point shot, brought you by Extreme Appliances. Decoy Lopez getting that one from straight away.
Tsaka malaking bagay na magagawa sa laro ni John Fa yan pag na-incorporate na niya yan consistently kasi mas may control na siya. Eto na naman siya. Again, another show
Sky is the
control.
limit for this guy, Coach. Imagine 19 years old to already be playing heavy minutes for a team here in the MPBL. That's just a great opportunity for him. Who knows how good of a player he can be 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Yeah, for all you know, he's going to be a key piece in the future of MPBL. I mean, the young blood that we're seeing in players nowadays, isa na siya dun.
Kyle Cielo connects from the left wing, so the 3-point shot being a little bit kinder to the Manila Batang Quiapo the past 2 possessions.
Post up.
Basibas double team, forced to kick it out. Risey Koga in the game. Medyo nagpalit ng tao dito si Coach Britre Roma. Actually, a platoon substitution for the Imus Brotherhood. All 5 guys, all 5 starters going to the bench as we take a look at this Gixxer. Great move of the game, born for greatness. And I do believe this young man, John Fa, is indeed born for greatness.
Oh, tsaka kontrolado talaga yung layup attempt na yun. At least on those last 2 attacks in the lane that he's done, he's been really good.
Alvarez extends this lead for Manila to 8 points, 18-10. Are you surprised at this start to the first quarter, Coach Mike?
I'm not. With Manila, what I'm surprised about Imus. You like to think with the big 3 right there to start the game, you like to think mas kontrolado nila yung laro. But John Fa and the guys have really responded well here against Imus.
Fa missing from the perimeter. Brotherhood into their front court. That's a clean swipe by Kyle Cielo. He's ahead of the back, and this is going to be an easy 2 points para sa Manila Batang Quiapo. 20-12.
So far, lahat ng mga inatake nitong Manila, yung mga paint touches nila, halos walang challenges masyado para dito sa Imus. They get freely to the paint with very little resistance.
Kyle Cielo has played 4 games this season, Coach. He was not able to score in all of those 4 games. So today are his first MPBL points this season para sa Batang Quiapo. This is his second last against the taller Basibas. Access denied by Reggie Boy. Basibas will take it all the way. The Siller rating, you see that much more often these days, that slow 1-2 step.
Nakakagulat dun, big man yung gumagawa. Normally wing or guard, but that move, pretty good.
There's a foul against the Imus Brotherhood. Scores 20-14 under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X-Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Look at that, 1-2 step. You slow down that 0 step, dami mo magagawa eh. And Reggie Boy used that for the most part in that move.
It started with a Pinoy step, tapos suddenly nagkaroon ng ganitong klaseng evolution dun sa sinasabing Pinoy step. So if you call the Pinoy step, is there something that you can call that kind of move?
Wow, you're putting me on. I love you, Javi. Let me think about that.
All right, Coach, I'll give you some time. This game show offers some time to decide on your answers, as John Fa not having to decide a lot into going into the lane at another 2 points para sa kanya.
Tsaka si John Fa, komportable yung tumatapos din with the left hand. Airborne na, pero naililipat pa niya yung bola sa kaliwang kamay niya. It just shows you, his dexterity, his ability to finish in the paint. Nice fake.
Basibas getting the defense off their feet there. 4 straight points para kay Reggie Boy Basibas. Achi Nigo is in the game for the Manila Batang Quiapo, as well as Richard Albo, the 2 veterans who have been 2 of their leading scorers this season. Cielo will try his hand at a three-point shot, missing everything there.
Not a very good shot for Cielo. I think he knew na papalitan na siya. Lopez is going out. So Cielo's gonna stay in. Medyo out of rhythm yung tira niya, medyo malayo.
Well, he had to take it. The shot clock was winding down, although I think he had a little bit more time to maybe get a better shot opportunity.
Or either that, baka hindi rin niya napansin yung shot clock na mahaba pa because medyo matagal na rin yung hawak nila doon sa ball.
Alatica comes out of the elevator. CJ kicks it out to Belenchon. Puts the ball on the deck. JP flips it up off the heel, but Basibas is there to clean it up.
You know what? I'm a strong believer that when you have Reggie Boy Basibas on the floor for Imus, for the most part, you have a strong quarter. We've seen that in certain games where he's got really good playing time on the floor. Those quarters are really good for Imus.
Caballos, bagong pasok sa laro na to, pero agad na nagparamdam para sa Manila. Imus gets the ball back quickly. Bounce pass, Koga onto Errol Soriano with a score.
Don't look now, the Imus Brotherhood catching a little rhythm here, a good flow to their set, and I feel Yusei Koga is doing a good job of orchestrating this for the Brotherhood team.
Only a 5-point lead for the Batang Quiapo. Albo fails to extend it. Under 2 minutes to play here. 2-on-1. Alatica will go all the way. Unlucky bounce para kay CJ Alatica. Here come the Manila Batang Quiapo. Albo leans in closer. Jumper on the way. That's long. The rebound tracked down by Fa. In and out, the crossover, the spin, a series of moves para kay John Ashley Fa. Able to draw the foul there against Ryusei Koga.
Malikot rin talaga maglaro si John Fa. Side to side, front and back, spin, inside reverse pivot, outside reverse pivot. He's got really good footwork.
Nakakapagod depensahan, coach. And of course, you add to that the youthful legs that he has.
Agree.
Albo will take it from way downtown from the parking lot of the Marikina Sports Complex. Richard Albo gets his first basket.
Alam mo naman, Richard Albo, he's not gonna turn down an opportunity. If you sag off of him from three, he's gonna take it.
Soriano powers through for 2 points. Palitan ng baskets dito ang parehong koponan. The last few possessions. Fa, emergency pass. At si Inigo, di siya pinahiya doon.
Wow. And Achi Inigo, I had a chance to message him last week on Mother's Day because I did see that mom's video, his mom's video. Grabe, sabi ko, Achi, grabe yung message ng mom mo. Pati ako medyo natiri-ay because you kind of feel they're brothers, Axel and Achi, and all boys in the family, and they take care of them. And Achi being just a good leader for mga kapatid niya, lalo na nagiging inspiration siya, and the mom has really shown a lot of motherly love for the kids.
Yeah, the support of both parents have been really very inspiring, as we'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Basibas is at the line. He has sparked a scoring run for Imus towards the latter part of this first quarter, but they're still down by 7 points here, 31-24.
At saka doon nasagot yung mga tanong ko, anong difference ni Achi tsaka ni Axel eh. Si Axel pala medyo seryoso, no? Yan ang description.
Talaga ba?
Yan ang sabi ah.
Parang baliktad eh.
Talaga. Well, I'll take it from you. Magkaibigan kayo eh.
I've known Achi longer. We've known each other since I was in high school, and he was in FEU's Team B at that time. Si Axel, later on ko na nakausap when I was already in the MPBL. Pero si Axel actually mas kabatch ko eh.
The way the mom described it is parang mas intense yung yung focus ni Axel. Achi is more inspirational really to the magkakapatid.
So parang ice and fire na combination.
Which we desperately need now.
Ice.
Ice.
The fire not so much. Actually, not at all. But the fire from both of these teams, this is a high-scoring quarter we're seeing to begin things. It's about a 3-second difference. CJ Alatica.
Wow, what a rebound by CJ Alatica on that missed three by Ryusei Koga. Just enough, elevation to grab it and to put it back.
Reggie Boy Basibas was impressive in the first quarter, coming off the bench and giving some life to the Imus Brotherhood. But John Ashley Fa, in his usual strong form to begin things here para sa Manila Batang Quiapo, scoring, assisting, and making plays for his squad. His team is ahead after one, 34-26. Richard Albo had 19 points to lead the Manila Batang Quiapo in their game against Quezon City, but 13 of them came in the first half, of which they needed scoring badly in the second half. More on Richard Albo from Ms. Diana Lianes.
In my opinion, Javi and Coach Mike, Richard Albo has one of the most incredible stories out of basketball. Starting grade 3, naging working student na siya. From selling fish at the Navotas Wet Market and eventually as a pedicab driver. Ito ay dahil noong lumaki na siya sa kanyang stepfather, ayaw niya siyang pahirapan sa pag-iipon para makapagtapos si Richard ng pag-aaral. In 1996 daw, when he was 16 years old, he saw Pure Foods versus Alaska game on TV, and that inspired him to one day be a pro ball player as well. Now that he's pursued that dream, he's letting his kids dream that big too. His 13-year-old daughter stands at 5'9" and wants to become a volleyball player, while his son Calix also goes to the gym with him and has been showing interest in basketball. Isa lang daw ang payo ni Richard sa kanyang mga anak, dapat makapagtapos muna sila ng pag-aaral as pursuing his studies has changed his life. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Diana. Excellent report. I think that's a story that many of our fans really don't know about. Richard Albo, you know, he's really a no-nonsense guy. Someone who really does his job on the floor. Came from De Ocampo Memorial College, 6'2". He's already 39 years old, coach, and yet he's playing even better than most young guys here in the league. Pero tingnan muna natin itong fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X-Play. On-the-go speaker, take your music anywhere.
Yeah, and him taking in, you know, very fatherly duties early in his life. Ngayon, yung anak niya, si Caleb ba? Si Calix?
Calix, coach.
Calix was actually with him earlier.
Oo,
shooting
nagsushooting
around.
sila eh.
And so I asked him, mahilig rin ba sa basketball? Sabi niya, coach, tinuturuan ko kung paano mag-shooting. Just, you know, life coming in full circle para dito kay Richard Albo. And you like that. Oh, what a leap.
Dustin Ambrosio has been showing some great drives as of late para dito sa Manila Batang Quiapo. Yung kanilang duo ni John Ashley Fa in the backcourt has caused some problems for other teams lately, but Errol Soriano has been terrorizing Manila's front court here in the second quarter. That's basket and one para kay Errol Soriano.
And he's almost had his way inside against Richard Albo. Richard trying to be the low side help right there. He got beat. Baseline with Soriano and he claims it and get an N1.
Pero yan talaga ang problema ng Manila this season, coach. When Decoy Lopez steps out, Richard Albo has to play some of that five.
Right. Kaya nga, you're not surprised that they're on the top when it comes to fast break points. And so, if possible, they try and run so that they can score. Good backdoor.
Inigo kicks it out. Fa. Floater no good. Basibas with a rebound. Imus down by just a basket. Chance to take the lead here. Belenson could not connect from downtown. Soriano, very obvious. Called for that offensive foul there, warding off Richard Albo.
That's right. And some might say Richard sold that really well, but it really was the extended arm of Soriano that caught the eye of the referee and decided to blow that whistle and call that foul. Look at that. Extension. Shoulder to chest, I think okay lang yun eh. Pero yung extension, doon na natatawagan ng offensive.
At maganda rin na na-establish agad ni Albo yung kanyang posisyon doon.
Yeah, and that helped too.
Missed opportunity for the Batang Quiapo. Alatica goes strong to the cup.
Boy, CJ Alatica, man. You know, he lost his mom a few days ago, last week, and you know, condolence to CJ. Ganda rin ang story niya, no, Javi?
It's amazing that he's even playing right now. I do know the feeling of losing a parent early in your life. It's certainly very difficult to try and go back to things that you usually do. But for some people, kasi this is how they cope with the loss. You go back to your job, you go back to your work, and you try to distract your grief with these things, especially things that you love. And CJ Elatica is featured here in our Assist of the Game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. And I do understand, Coach, that with the loss of his mom, he's taken on an even bigger responsibility sa kanyang nakababatang kapatid sa nang nagpapaaral.
Oo, agree. Yun nga ang ano niya, story niya. No? He's the one now who's funding yung schooling ng kanyang nakababatang kapatid. And he says that with the loss of the mom, I think a month ago or a couple of some weeks ago, he says na naramdam talaga nila sa bahay kasi silang tatlo lang nandun. And you miss the ingat ka bago maglaro, magdasal ka, kumain ka na ba pagka-uwi. Those things that CJ actually misses from the mom.
Pero ang Manila ngayon ang kailangan mag-ingat because they see their lead already with the Imus Brotherhood right now. This play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Errol Soriano has been instrumental in this comeback for the Brotherhood. They're up by 2 points, 38-36. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. We're back here at the Marikina Sports Complex, our venue for the MPBL's Friday triple header. This is day 54 of our 7th season. The Imus Brotherhood coming back after being down by double digits, and it's been a very easy time inside the paint para kay Errol Soriano. He's been getting a lot of buckets.
Yep. Whenever since this second string of Imus Brotherhood group came in, nagbago yung yung production, no? And lalo na you add on sila JP Belencion. And I thought Yusei Koga did a good job of backcourting at that time when they had the big three sit on the floor, on the bench rather.
They started with the big three, as you mentioned, Mark Doligon, JJ Caspe, and Kint Ariara, along with Raymark Acuno. And I think it was Jed Ong, the other player on the floor for them to begin things. But Coach Britre Roma decided that he needed to make a platoon substitution to change the way that things were going because talagang tinakbuhan lang talaga ng Manila yung starters ng Imus.
That's right. And why you do have that firepower in Achi and Richard Albo connecting from the outside, when John Fawcett medyo nag-slow down ng konti yung atake nila. No? Ambrosio tried to provide some pero nakaka-score pa rin na nakaka-depensa itong Imus Brotherhood.
Caspe playing the passing lanes. JJ Caspe almost fumbled the rock and he actually did. That's a traveling violation laban kay JJ Caspe.
Medyo nagmadali. Nang gigil, nakita yung open spot eh. See right there, Coach Brett. Sana all talaga nakapanood ng NBA playoffs.
Sana all talaga.
Diba?
Ginawang kaya po yung US eh. He was there, I think, siguro mga 2 weeks lang. I'm not sure. Konting time lang siya nandun eh.
Parang ganda rin ang story niya ni Coach Brett na after coming off as one of the top players in high school from San Beda, Mendiola, to take over the basketball program bigat nun from San Beda.
One of the more loyal disciples of Coach Ato Badolato, the legendary Ato Badolato. Achi Nigo was a witness to the legend of Ato Badolato in the NCAA Juniors Division when he was still playing for the Letran Squires. Doligon, those big hands enabling him to get baskets like that, but he misses.
Oh, look at the control. John Fa.
Imus is back on defense. Inigo not bothered one bit, but he misfires on that three. We're tied at 40 all. Sumabat finds himself without much resistance, but he misses the gimme. Fa sinagasaan ng depensa doon. He draws the foul against Imus.
And again, I feel this might be the best controlled game of John Fa, at least of all that I've covered on him. So right there, normally take off na yun na maaga, pero ito, you know, tiningnan niya kung saan siya pwedeng umapak at magamit niya kanyang footwork before he elevated.
JM Greg checks in for the first time for the Imus Brotherhood. I think this is also the first time we're seeing him this season. Coach Maxi Dayandante and the Manila Batang Quiapo, they've lost 9 straight games after winning their season opener against Marikina. Forgive me, JM Greg is playing his second game for the Imus Brotherhood.
Yeah, but I think on the first one, he didn't get minutes yet on the floor. And so, definitely floor time, una niya to.
Well, we'll see what the hype is all about. I've been hearing some nice stories about this particular player, and Coach Britre Roma looking to give him the opportunity to show his wares here against Manila. Doligon from the right wing. That one's short. A rare time that Manila will actually try to execute in the half court. They're going to try to use the length of their shot clock here. It's at 10 seconds right now. Lopez guarded by Quint Ariar. Ariar attacks. Scoop with the right. Wala. Basibas with the rebound. That's his 5th of the game. Fa able to keep it in play. John Ashley Fa. Bit. Got the basket and ball John Ashley Fa.
And I'm telling you, Abby, this is his best control game. You agree, right?
It was pretty difficult to save that basketball right in front of us. And he stopped, looked at the situation, saw that there was an opportunity for him to go and attack the basket. And despite the defense, he was able to finish the 2 points.
And just shows you the control and athletic ability of itong si John Fa. Quick stop, you know, quick go agad, tapos elevation sa kabila. Finish pa with the acrobatic shot.
Well, both teams have been perfect from the free throw line this afternoon. 5 out of 5 for Imus. Manila is at 7 out of 7.
The shooting's been pretty good as well.
This is a very high-scoring game that we're having.
Should get to the century mark later at the end of the game.
Basibas, the leaner, got his own miss, but that's an offensive foul laban sa kanya. Caught with that right hand pushing off.
Ganda rin ang matchup nito ni Basibas tsaka ni Decoy Lopez. No? Parang veterano rin eh.
Coach Britre Roma pondering his next moves here as his team continues to trail in this game. They were able to looking inside Soriano. Looking inside Soriano near the block. Soriano once again powers his way to the basket plus the foul. Of Imus' success this season, you have a very talented front line, although people may say a little bit underrated, but definitely we've seen what they're capable of this season.
Yes, definitely. And you know, when they actually beat Mindoro in that first game of this season, everybody was put on notice. Hold on, guys, this is a different Imus team, different from the previous one. And so you'd like to think they're on a pretty good groove, and yun nga, maganda yung mga start sa mga games nila, pero yung pagtapos doon sila normally kinakapos.
It was a total makeover for Imus this year. As we take a look at Ken Bono of the Mindoro Tamaraws enjoying his Starbucks sandwich on the sideline as he prepares for his game against the Cebu Classic later on at 6 o'clock p.m. 47 to 42. My bad, it's already 44 to 47 after Doligon gets an N1 opportunity there underneath. Imus really looking to exploit their advantage inside against Manila.
Yeah, and Imus loves to run that flex action on the weak side. This time around, I feel that's the very first time they looked inside after that cut inside by itong si Mark Doligon. And yun ang kagandahan nga dito sa Imus. Inside, post-ups, perimeter, middies, they've got everything.
Ball sails out of bounds, but it will stay with Manila. You talk about the flex offense, Coach. That's been one of Coach Britre Roma's strong systems that have really worked for him over the years. Greg muffs the opportunity to get on the scoreboard for the first time this season. But the ball will stay with the Brotherhood.
But you like na hindi siya ganong hurried to that spot, no? Dahan-dahan lang on his right pace. Kaya lang natapik lang talaga yung bola sa kanya dito kay Greg.
Soriano pops out on the left side. Koga trying to decide against this zone. Doligon matched up against Alvarez. Doligon, a drop pass. Soriano, one fake. He travels. No, it's a 3-second violation.
Soriano was surprised. Felt that was a quick 3-second violation call. He just moved from the weak side of the floor to the strong side. Nonetheless, he got called for that for watching the paint dry.
Medyo bumagal ang palitan ng baskets natin dito. Let's see if Manila can get back on the board. Pham missing on the layup. Alvarez, another offensive rebound. He's been very nice on the glass this afternoon. Edok Doroteo will check in para sa Imus Brotherhood. Albo against the defense of Ryusei Koga could not connect. Canlas could not save it. It's going to be Imus basketball. 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Coach Maxi Dayandante engaged in this tight game with the Imus Brotherhood. Imus currently at 5-6. Near the bottom of the team standings in the Southern Division. While Manila obviously at the bottom of the North Division team standings with a 1-9 record.
And Mark Doligon has always been a good combination of an outside big to a posting up big. You know, top of the key, 2 to 3 dribbles going downhill. Kayang gawin ni Mark yan, even on the post up, which we saw earlier where he got that foul opportunity.
Let's go to Miss Gianna Lianes at courtside.
Who would have thought that Mark Doligon's home is filled with dogs, Dachshunds and Corgis to be exact. Ito ang kanyang passion outside of basketball. But he also shares that best believe daw na as the season goes on, we will continuously witness him get more in shape. Sabi niya conditioning daw talaga kasi ang focus niya for improvement more than skills, as his biggest role on this team is really assisting the younger players. Hindi daw mahirap para sa kanya maging co-captain ng Imus dahil nakaka-inspire daw ang accountability at professionalism ng teammates niya. He shares the best advice he constantly gives them is to never waste any opportunity as they won't have the privilege of playing this game forever. Back to you guys.
I'm sure you enjoyed getting that report, Gianna, as you're a big dog lover yourself.
So hindi ba siya nagulat na may soft side pala sa aso ito si Mark? I was thinking more Doberman-ish, no?
Well, actually, medyo matinik lang yung personality niya on the court. Pero off the court, he's very soft-spoken.
Oh, soft-spoken, that's right.
Soriano gets it to Doroteo, who was blocked there on top by Alvarez. Albo leading the break here for Manila. Fa fumbles the pass. Forced to pull it out. They will not get it inside. Albo decides to rethink that advantage. And there's going to be a foul against the Imus Brotherhood.
Legit shooter talaga to si Richard Albo. Alam niyang basahin kung may paparating na close out. Nakita niyang parating, okay, I'll put the ball on the floor. Subukan kitang iwasan. And true enough, the help defense cannot afford to get Richard Albo inside the paint because he can either finish or kick it out to another shooter for the Manila team. Yan talaga ang value na binibigay ni Richard Albo. 16 points per game. At his age, he's still averaging those numbers.
He's played for Navotas, Davao, Bacoor, and Bacolod, as well as the Negros Muscovados. This is actually his former team he's playing against. Was one of the top scorers of the Imus Agimat last season, if you remember. He, along with Nem de la Cruz, really tried their best to give quality games to that franchise last year. Although they, like the Manila Batang Quiapo now, also was very short on firepower.
Pero ang gandang kombinasyon na Nem de la Cruz at Richard Albo inside out.
Very high scoring duo that was.
Right.
Quinto Arial naman ang ating guest sa ating free throw line. For this opportunity, he had 15 points against Muntinlupa, 12 rebounds, another double-double performance for Quint Ariar, who, just like JJ Caspe, played for Mindoro last season. But those two guys have been two-thirds of that big three that we've been talking about for Imus this season, of course, along with Mark Doligon. But those two guys, young players, have shown considerable improvement this year.
Yep. And si Clint Herrera, you know, we talk about the big three riders. You see here, Doligon, that's going to be a travel call on Mark. And Clint Herrera is pretty much their second leading scorer, their number one rebounding guy, their third assist guy, and in blocks, he's number one. And nakita mo yung iba-ibang spectrum na makakatulong ito si Clint Herrera.
Coach, are you surprised with the numbers that we just flashed on our screens? 12 turnovers for Imus in this game. In Manila, only with 6.
Well, not at all. I mean, at least on how we've seen floor time para dito sa Manila. But a lot of that has to do with them staying in control for the most part of this first half.
Manila actually is one of the teams that has been taking care well of the basketball this season. Mark Doligon will troop to the free throw line right now. His team in the lead by 2.
And Manila, for the most part, you know, when they get a possession, it's either they miss a shot or they get a basket. Very few times that they turn it over. And why not? You know, lalo na with the maturity that's progressing here for John Fa, and you got Achi as well, and really good veteran guys that have good basketball experience, especially here in the MPBL.
But coach, for a young team, that's impressive, especially with the style of play that they have. You know, you go quick every time, you try to push the ball in transition every opportunity you get, but you only turn the ball over a few times. That's really something.
Yeah.
Quick attack there by Edok Doroteo. Another foul called against Manila. Both teams already over the limit.
And just as we were talking about very limited turnovers for Manila, John Fa actually turned the ball over on that side. He did have that lane side to drive on, but nobody was checking on Achi and the corner right there. And so you got to give it to Achi, because you know those arrows are going to go out once he takes that shot.
Oh, for sure. Doroteo misses on the second as well. 51-48. The Brotherhood holding on to this 3-point lead. A minute remaining in the first half.
Manila giving a good account of themselves in the first half. Hindi maiwanan itong Imus eh.
Atsi Inigo will inch closer and tie this game at 51 apiece.
Didn't get it earlier, he got it now. Good pass.
Caspe setting up the table. Doroteo against the smaller Fa. Caspe sets for 3. Guy is down. I think that's John Fa. That's going to be a foul definitely laban sa Imus. Doroteo will be called for the personal. That's not a good foul to commit at this time of the quarter, especially with both teams already in the penalty. Let's take a look at what happened. There's the miss by Caspe. The takedown by Doroteo on the smaller Fa.
He took it like a man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In the land of the bigs.
Usually when you're that small, you don't really have any business being inside. Most small guys will not even try to get the rebound. But this guy, he's just all over the place.
Yeah, and he's right there on the free throw line, playing here in the MPBL. But you know how he came out from where he was before, really very impressive. And you like that perseverance in a young kid like John Fa.
And he gives Manila back the lead. He has 15 points in this game. Caspe all alone underneath. That's an easy basket para kay JJ Caspe. Almost 9 to 8 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock here. Fa deciding on what to do against Caspe. This is actually a very nice matchup at the one spot. John Ashley Fa against JJ Caspe. A series of moves. Fa gives it up. Inigo, the pull-up jumper on the way. It's nothing but nylon para kay Atsi Inigo. 10 points in the game. Last shot time for Mindoro, but Ariar will go quick. Ariar will score. Meron pang oras ang Manila. Cielo had a good first quarter. Kicks it out. Albo leaves a follow-through, and that's a three-point shot. Richard Albo connects from downtown.
Boy, don't you just love those last 3 possessions, having, really good shooting, really good execution, quick thinking for both these guys as the clock of the quarter was going down.
Lightning quick pace we've been playing at for the most part of this first half. Both teams trying to shoot the lights out here, and we're only in the afternoon here at the Marikina Sports Complex. John Fa with a great all-around performance in that first half. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and perfect at the charity stripe.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a triple-double in this game, definitely, and he's impressed us with his first half showing.
And his team is up by 3 points, 58-55 as we go into the break.
Is annihilating Oscar De La Hoyas. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way off and goes down again. Straight left land for Manny. Does he have Colo in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
We are still here at the Marikina Sports Complex for Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Ako po si Gianna Llanes at halftime na po ng ating unang laro sa araw na ito. It is between the Imus Brotherhood and the Manila Batang Quiapo. The score is 58-55 in favor of Manila. Kasama ko ngayon ang assistant manager ng Imus Brotherhood na si Sir TJ Marquez. Sir TJ, good afternoon sa inyo po. Kwento ni Coach Britt na from his recent trip daw witnessing the NBA playoffs, ang natutunan niya and that he wants to teach to your team is how to be mentally tough in bigger situations. How are you implementing this sa inyong mga players?
Actually, nag-start lang kami yesterday sa game prep namin about yung Coach Britt. But I'm sure naman ma-adapt naman kasi may explain ng mabuti ni Coach Britt kung para saan yung ginagawa namin.
And during the second quarter specifically, nakita nga namin that you guys were picking up the pace, taking control of the game. Still down 3 points during the halftime, pero paano nyo pa i-increase ang score nyo during the second half to stay more consistent?
Bukod sa madulas yung court, same lang naman ang game plan always. Follow the instruction, be competent, defense. Wala dapat focus lang sa game. So I'm sure 3 lang naman ang lead nila. So I'm sure we can cop up on the second half.
I'm sure a huge motivation again for your team is of course the people supporting you. Kaya pasalamatan nyo naman po lahat ng sumusuporta sa Imus Brotherhood.
Of course, first I want to greet Mayor Advincula for winning the last election. And of course, Grumpy Joe, owner Ma'am Ruby po. Yun lang. And all Imus pala. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much once again. That was the assistant manager of Imus, Sir TJ Marquez. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Welcome back to our coverage of the MPBL here at the Marikina Sports Complex. It's the Manila Batang Quiapo going up against the Imus Brotherhood. The score is 58-55. Di po kayo nagmamalik mata mga kaliga. Yes, Manila is in the lead by 3 points. It's been a high-scoring game between these two squads. Javi Palanya still joined by Coach Mike Perez. Ms. Gianna Lianes is at courtside. Coach Mike, what has stood out to you in that first half?
I think yung control nga nitong Manila really impressed me a lot. You knew that at some point Imus was gonna come back and make this a closer game. Pero yung latter part, yung three-pointer ni Richard Albo gave them this three-point lead. Shooting's been really good for Imus, 50%. Pretty pedestrian naman para sa Manila at almost 39%. But that plus 8 three-point make for Manila really told the difference in terms of scoring. And a lot of that has to do with open looks, lalo na with Achinig.
Manila had 34 points in the first quarter, but on the other side, the Imus Brotherhood, they were down by as much as 10 points in that first half, but Errol Soriano came roaring back along with Reggie Boy Basibas. That bench mob of Imus helped them get back in the game. Manila is led by John Fa, Richard Albo, and Achi Inigo, all in double figures with 15, 10, and 10 respectively. Calcielo backstopping them with 7 points.
Yeah, and guys scoring in double figures coming off the bench for both teams, and really just impressive the amount of talent that's contributed to these teams.
How will this second half shape up for these two squads? Will the high scoring continue? That is something that we're going to wait to see as we begin things here in the third quarter. Imus with the first possession. Quick trigger there by Kint Ariar. Offensive rebound by Errol Soriano. He has really taken advantage of their height inside the shaded area, getting the offensive rebound and the score. At Decoy Lopez has really been taking advantage of his shooting from beyond the arc. That top of the circle space has been his domain here in this game.
And much as you're missing interior defense para dito sa Manila, they're made up by the outside sniping of their bigs like Decoy Lopez and Richard Albo. You know, perimeter-wise, kayang umiscore.
Another second chance opportunity for Imus. They buffed it. John Ashley foul all the way to the rack.
Wow, and full speed ahead for John Fa. 17 points, 6 of 11 shooting so far. This kid's been very impressive.
This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig free installation for split type air conditioners. There's no cooling down this guy. John Fahy has been spectacular in almost all facets of the game this afternoon.
Tsaka yung makita mo yung performance index niya is at what, 25, and 25 is roughly an all-star player in that matter, and he really has been playing like an all-star here at John Fa.
Caspe could not finish underneath. He has missed his last 2 attempts. Inigo looking inside, trying to bullet the pass to Cielo. Pero di niya nasalo doon. That's going to be a turnover for Manila. Coach Maxi Diandante and the Manila Batang Quiapo finding themselves with a good opportunity here to get their second victory this afternoon. But let's see how the Imus Brotherhood will try to respond. Ariar attacks, leaves it for Soriano. Belenson on the left side. Back to Caspe. Shot clock winding down for Imus. JJ launches and hits.
Sometimes when you're that talented, all you need is that slither of space.
John Ashley Fa, he's been showcasing the very talent that we've been wowing about this whole year. This is our three-point shot of the game, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
A perfect screen and a good timing on that decision to take the shot by JJ Caspe at that moment that JP went in to screen for him on that wing three.
That was only their second three-point shot this afternoon. And Manila already with 9. They go inside. Lopez gets blocked there by Ariar, but got a little bit of the arm, so Lopez will take 2 shots. Lopez at the free throw line for 2 charities. Let's go courtside to Miss Gianna Lianes.
Javi and Coach Mike, masaya naman daw ang Manila Batang Quiapo sa performance nila sa first half pero consistency daw talaga ang focus nila ngayon. Lalo na daw sa second quarter, naramdaman nila na takbuhan ang strength ng Imus, knowing they'll pick the pace up even faster during the fourth quarter. On Manila's side naman, they know that transition offense is their strength. So they do want to get more inside shots right now. In order to do that, the players kept the energy calm during halftime amidst the heat of the venue. Ang motivation nila, it'll all be worth it with a win. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Gianna, and that's the reason why this has been such a high-scoring affair, because both teams have really been looking to push the pace.
And you just love it kung yung mga coaches are very aware what's happening in the game.
15 points in that last game against the Muntinlupa Cagers for the guy on the line, JJ Caspe. Great all-around performance once again para sa kanya with 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and a couple of steals. He's one of the leaders in that particular department, steals in the league. Fa against Caspe, lost it for a bit, gets it back. Dangerous pass taken by JP Belenson. The long strides of JP Belenson gives him 2 points.
Wow, that long stride. Started off from the three-point line and able to finish.
Inigo trying to answer quickly. Three-pointer doesn't work. Imus trying to take back the lead. Ariar, cross-court to Caspe. Behind the line, Caspe could not connect. Lopez leading the break. Gets it back. Decoy pulls it back out. Inigo swings it to Fa. Bounce pass to Alvarez. Goes between his legs. That's going to be a turnover. Laban sa Manila. They've already had a few here to begin the third quarter.
You're just surprised that Achi passed up on that open three and decided to swing it over other side of the floor for John Fa to attack. And I said earlier that Coach Maxi was really spot on when he said, nagpa-fast break itong Imus, pero naintindihan ko rin na fast break rin yung weapon natin. So kailangan labanan natin yan. And true enough, they're outscoring itong Imus in the fast break stat line 16-15 right now.
And sometimes they say that you don't fight fire with fire, but that's absolutely what's been happening this afternoon. These two teams have really tried to just outscore each other rather than slow down the pace. And it's been very entertaining for all of us here inside the Marikina Sports Complex.
Tsaka taas ng scoring, 66 and 65 at this point.
Zedong, no looking a pass there to Errol Soriano, who has been very comfortable inside the shaded area this afternoon.
As a matter of fact, he's so comfortable that he's got 17 points on an 8 of 12 shooting. And that's how good he's been. Kasi ang lahat ng tira niya nasa loob ng paint eh. That still is the highest percentage spot on the floor when you can make a shot.
Kyle Cielo easily with his best game of the season this afternoon against the Manila, or rather against the Imus Brotherhood, unable to score in the 4 games that he's so far played this season. Kitariar getting a basket there on the lob.
And again, another points in the paint. They are right now a plus 24 in that department, 46 versus 22. And somebody's got to step up to at least try and help out in the paint para dito sa Manila. Again,
Caspe gathers, denied access there on top. Inigo is all alone on the other side.
Again, strength for strength. Paint touches on the Imus side. Open floor para naman dito sa Manila.
12 puntos na para kay Atsi Inigo. Caspe wants it against Cielo. Couple of dribbles backing down. Forces his way through. That's going to be a foul. Is it going to be an offensive foul? Yes, it is an offensive foul against JJ Caspe.
Shoulder right through the chest.
Coach Britra Roma has been very chill in his first game back. Just trying to let Coach Ricky Alcantara call the shots, but I'm sure he is very much behind what Imus is trying to do this afternoon.
Well, much like how Coach Britt was to Coach Ato Badulato back then.
Alvarez from downtown, and he shows the stroke from the outside.
Ganda ng bitaw ng Imus and 3 here in the third quarter.
He's already in double figures, and he's going to try to extend that, but he couldn't handle the pass. Fa gets the ball back. Albo fumbles it a bit. Albo, binit-bit. No look pass! Alvarez, hindi lang nakuha.
Ganda ng pass.
Could have been a play for the highlight reel. Errol Soriano going to work early, trying to seal inside against Alvarez. He's already asking for a sub. Medyo nararamdaman niya na yung pagod dito.
That's a veteran with a lot of games played logged on him with that beautiful pass. Sayang, hindi pumasok.
Albo showing us that he's more than just a scorer. Mark Doligon is checking in for the first one. The co-captain, the Imus Brotherhood, dishing off to Errol Soriano. The co-captain, the Imus Brotherhood, dishing off to Errol Soriano.
Well, so far as Manila, if they want to come out with a win here, they got to be very efficient with their shot making, got to be efficient with the ball, because every time that they miss, you know Imus gonna run.
Maraming salamat sa LGR, our official outfitter this season dito sa MPBL. Red Eusebio missing on his first free throw. Earlier, we had both teams perfect from the line at some point of the first half. I think it was 12 out of 12 between both teams.
He's got a good following on social media.
Yeah, actually.
Diba?
Even more motivation to do even better. Trying to dedicate the rest of this season to his mom who just passed away. Talking about CJ Alatica, but Jose Canlas getting a basket there for the Manila Batang Quiapo to get them back the driver's seat. Alatica will not force it. Pasibas is also inside. Pasibas did not even put the ball on the floor, and he gets the 2 points.
And so far, one thing's clear: nobody stopped that paint action para dito sa sa Imus. You know, not enough rim protection with a half-court set.
I think it's very clear what Imus' game plan here in the second half is. It's to dump it off inside as much as they can. This is our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. 3-point play completed by Reggie Boy Basibas. Lamang na dalawa ang Brotherhood. 76-74. Past the halfway point of quarter number 3. Pass inside, Lopez kicks it back out. Ambrosio, perimeter jumper is no good.
That's pretty much how the offense has been para dito sa Manila. One and done.
Doligon off the in and out. Pretty scoop there para kay Mark Doligon.
Yan mismo yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina.
Oh, gutsy drive to the basket. Dustin Ambrosio challenging the defense.
Yeah, yun talaga ang kailangan nilang gawin. They have to be very forceful as they head into the paint, because you understand ang daming rim protectors para dito sa sa Imus that would make it difficult for them to finish in the paint. And so earlier you saw them miss a shot. Imus gets the rebound without question, and they run the other way, and Mark scores. And that pretty much is going to be the trend if every time Manila misses. And so they really have to be good at making shots.
As well as from the free throw line. Their misses from that area of the floor have been piling up here in the third quarter.
Tsaka bibilib ka rin kay Coach Maxi dun sa tiwala sa mga players niya. His young guns in Canlas, Ambrosio, John Fa. You know, these guys have been playing well in this game.
Doligon, not much resistance there underneath.
Dun lang talaga hirap.
He's got 12 points now, and Manila will try to answer with another basket. That's been their best defense here practically the whole season, actually. Offense.
Yeah, and they've been trying to, speaking of Manila, they've been trying to speed up the game. But you have to involve ball movement too. You know, not just purely on foot speed and race going downhill.
Manila is one of the top teams offensively this season, averaging 81.2 points per game, just behind the Quezon Huskers, who are averaging 81.3. Ambrosio able to get that second free throw to drop. Score is 78-76. Kerbangiles won't go for the outside shot. Instead, he goes for the scoop, extending this Imus lead to 4.
How about that move by Curb?
Canlas wide open. Masyado malakas. JJ Caswe decides to slow things down, but Bangeles has other things in mind. At outside shot won't drop. Ambrosio trying to look for an opening, but he will leave it back with his point guard. Gets it back. Dustin sees Canlas. Step to the side. No shot available. The bounce pass. Medyo mababa para kay Decoy. They swing it to Albo. Shot clock at 4. Richard Albo. I think he got partially blocked there by the defense of Imus. Doligon leading the break. Doligon binalik sa kanan. Mark Doligon will take 2 shots.
Wow, that's what's making it tough for Manila right now as they trail by 6. And if you're not making shots, be ready with defensive transition defense. And otherwise, these guys are going to run at you. CJ Alatica, Mark Doligon, and even Reggie Boy Basibas can actually run you off the floor.
Yun yung problema, Coach, when you try to really push the pace and outrun your opponents. As we take a look at the numbers of Mark Doligon, 11 points on 5 out of 13 shooting against the Muntinlupa Cagers in their last game. When you try to run and get quick baskets and you miss, madaling ma-demoralize, kaya ang hirap minsan bumaba sa depensa.
Yeah, some coaches would actually say, you know, if you gotta run downstairs, let's leave one other guy or a couple of guys at least mid-court para may abang na tayo transition defense at least if we miss or there's a turnover.
This is now Imus' biggest lead of the game. And they turn it over. Talking about Manila, tumatakbo ulit ang Brotherhood. Caspe settles for the 3. No good on the shot. Bangiles the offensive rebound. Doligon did not see Atsi Inigo creeping from behind. Canlas, the floater, doesn't even hit anything. On the counter attack, Basibas, couple of dribbles, one hand shot will not drop. And Kerr Bangiles working double time on the glass here in the third quarter.
And tingnan naman who the guys have to contend with inside the paint. CJ Alatica, Basibas, Caspe, and even Bangiles has been tough. And we haven't even mentioned any of Mark Doligon.
All very capable rebounders.
Oo. Kaya kailangan either masipag kang bumaba or masipag kang bumax out because every time you get a box out missed, it surely is gonna be in possession.
Kerr Bangiles was scoreless in the first half, managing to get on the board here in the third quarter. Check out our special deal from OneXBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. 1 out of 2 para kay Bangiles. Offensive rebound muli para sa Imus. And Quintaryar gets some easy pickings inside.
Yeah. Just like we mentioned about, missed box outs. Most probably it's going to be Imus ball.
Canlas has not been lucky from the field here in the third quarter. Alvarez gets it back to Jose. Canlas on over to Atsi Inigo. Baseline drive. Had to adjust. Ball is loose. It ends up laro, no, Coach?
Oh. And the very few times he's put the ball on the floor, you can see CJ, talagang maganda ang contribution.
Lopez trying to ram his way past 2 defenders. He's back on the floor after quite a long rest on the bench. He went out with about 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Kakapasok nila ulit dito. Coach Maxi Dayandante tinatry na timplahin na maayos yung playing time ng kanyang prized big man na si Decoy Lopez. Dahil dalawa lang sila ni Richard Albo who have been trying to share that responsibility of playing the center position for Manila this season.
And I'm sure, come the window, if Manila wants to compete, they're gonna need a big man. And somebody who would, at the very least, got that length and rim protection that they've been lacking so far in the games that they played.
10 ang lamang ng Imus Brotherhood. Under a minute to play in our third quarter. Later on, we have the Mindoro Tamaraos tackling the Cebu Classic. Bangiles goes up. Blocked there by Atsi Inigo, but the second effort by Kerr Bangiles giving him another end one opportunity.
Sabi ni Achi, who needs the rim protection when you got me? That's impressive, Achi. He didn't bite on the fake, and he stayed with it.
But Bangiles outworking the defense on that second trip. Yes, 5 points all in the third quarter. Could not complete the 3-point play.
Just overall presence on the board. That's what impresses you about the curve.
With this si Decoy Lopez galing sa labas. Toga, this is specialty of the house for the former San Pedro Red Lion. 15 na ang hinahabol dito ng Manila. Caballos will try to trim it down a bit. Inigo gets the loose ball, turn around, no!
The very few times they had multiple shots on their half-court set.
Imus is 6 points away from breaking the century mark. 18 seconds left here in the third quarter. Caspe, it's a screen from Acuno. Caspe for 3. And Caspe, this time off one leg. JJ Caspe, back-to-back hits from downtown. May time pa ang Manila, but they throw it away, and that's gonna do it. Our third quarter already in the books. The Imus Brotherhood with their best offensive performance here in this game. Coming in this quarter, Soriano, Basibas, Doligon combining for 48 of the 100 points of the Imus Brotherhood in this game.
And if there's one thing that's common, it's all big men.
These are our highlights of the game brought to you by Sit Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. Just when I thought that they weren't going to break the century mark in the third quarter because there were only seconds left, Caspe just had to hit 2 3-pointers in succession.
Yeah, grabe. We said earlier that we're gonna break the century mark, but not this early. I mean, it's just the third quarter.
Certainly the highest scoring game yet for the Imus Brotherhood this season. At least after 3 quarters, they are ahead 100 to 79. Nagbabalik ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. For the first time this season, we are live from the Marikina Sports Complex and we bring to you our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. This is the first game of our Friday triple header. We have Imus going up against Manila. Umpisa na nating fourth quarter. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. This is Javi Palanya joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Gianna Lianes. Quarter scoring in this game. The Imus Brotherhood erupting for 45 big third quarter points, Coach Mike.
And you're not winning games if you're gonna give up 45 points while scoring only 21 in a quarter. The highest scoring quarter I've seen so far was the one by Jensen at 42. I think this one breaks it for this season, 45.
This just
Imus.
might be the record this year. We're gonna check with our stats head, Jory Mangonon, later on. Albo at long on the three-point shot. Offensive rebound for Dustin Ambrosio. At Inigo has gone a little bit cold from the outside here in the second half.
Yeah, the thing is, the offense has really slowed down, at least from a field goal standpoint para dito sa Manila. After making 19 field goals in the first 2 quarters, they only made, 6 in the third. And so, kita mo talagang bumaba yung production.
But despite that, Coach, this is very much manageable for the Batang Quiapo to try and come back. There's a lot of time and they're only down by 13 points.
And if you understand that Imus, for the most part, yung pinag-uusapan dyan, strong start, pero yung finish, medyo dun sila minsan kinakapos, ano? So, you might want to test that now if you're Manila.
I'm sorry, my math was wrong. This is a 23-point lead they're looking at. So,
yes,
medyo malayo ang hinahabol nila dito pero marami pang oras.
But if you've made, 10 3-pointers already earlier, and you've got that firepower to do it.
And the way that they've been playing this season, they've been playing lightning quick. Number 1 team in terms of fast break points this season. Ito Manila Batang Quiapo.
And for the most part, because of that guy who scored, John Fa.
20 points in the game para kay John Fa. Acuno misses. If they can force Imus into misses like that and get long rebounds which will enable them to run ahead.
And you saw Richard Albo trying to teach Ambrosio how to pass that ball.
This is our fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig.